It's time to play more Factory Town. So let's pick up where we left off with the last episode. By getting the basic logistics done, now if I come back to the grain mill, I'm just going to rotate the map here, and I look at our little output chute. I'm going to, I think that actually is the animal feed there. Let's go into the build menu, logistics blocks, and select grabber. And I'm going to drop that right on top of the chute. Boom. And then I will escape to get rid of that menu. And if I click on the grabber, let's see, I got to remember how to do it. It's up here on the top right. So we see active state is on and the item filter says none. If I click on the item filter, I can pick what I want to be output from this output from the building and onto the chute. And for this, we need the animal feed. There it is. I'll select animal feed. And now only animal feed will come down the chute. And I don't have to worry about the flour coming down on the chute and backing this up. So let's see if I can complete the chute. So I'm clicking on the chute. I'm going to rotate this and I'm going to click on a chute. So I've got the chute selected. I'm rotating and it's showing me a red X. So the issue here is I'm on uneven terrain. And what I need to do is build some scaffolding that will ramp me down this hill here. I'm going to rotate the map to go to the other side because it's a little easier to see. All right, and rotate a little bit more. And I'm going to escape from my chute building. And now I'm going to look down here at my hotbar and I see scaffold block, scaffold ramp. I see wood arch. I see wood pillar. Let's go into the build menu and access that and just see what the cost is and where that's located. So I think it's under structural blocks. And I see scaffold ramp takes 2 planks. And if I glance up at the top left, I've got tons of planks. So we're in good shape there. Remember, we deleted that worker that was delivering these planks to the general store. So we're not getting as many red coins produced because we're not selling them and we're not getting as much happiness, but we've got a good supply of planks stored up. And when we go and shoot for that 40 happiness, we're going to mass deliver these to the store along with maybe some bread and who knows what else to get that up to 40. For now, anyway, we've got plenty of planks. So I'm going to take a scaffold ramp, and you can barely see the yellow marking there. But if I click that and drop one here, now I've just built a scaffold there. I'm going to select the chute and see if it'll take it. And it doesn't look like it's going to take the chute. So I'm going to right click off of that, and I'm going to go back to the scaffold. I'll just pick it off the hotbar. And it doesn't want to let me build it. So I'm going to right click. I think what's happening here is I'm actually 2 levels down. So I'm going to right click to cancel that first scaffolding I built. So that's gone. You may have heard that click. And I'm going to build a full scaffold block way down here. Let's see. Drop that guy down. Let's see if it lets me build the chute. Okay, now it is letting me build the chute. Now let's try the ramp one here. I'll just drop that down. And let's see if I can build a chute now. There it goes. Okay, so now I'm getting a chute angled down. And I can keep building chutes here across. And it looks like I'm lined up. That mountain side is perfect. I don't need to build any ramp. And here, and then here. Okay, and there we go. So now the animal feed that's being produced, and we just emptied out the backlog, is going into my pasture. I've got 1 worker in here. He's producing raw chicken. And if we look at the output, we're getting the raw chicken, but we're also getting, as this kind of a side benefit, we get this fertilizer. If I wanted to, I could deliver that to the farm and it would speed up the growth of the grain, but we've got plenty of grain to pick from. And I don't really have any spare workers right now to deliver fertilizer. So we're probably just going to leave that. And that won't cause any problems with the chicken. It'll just keep producing chicken. I do need to get this raw chicken to the kitchen. So, and I need a worker for that. It looks like I've got one more worker here that I freed up earlier. So let's drop a worker and we'll have this worker deliver chicken. So I'll select the raw chicken and I'll bring it to the kitchen. And that worker is probably just going to sit at the building until I pick the chicken as a recipe here. So if I select recipe and I do cooked chicken, all right, now I'm producing cooked chicken. Let's see. So ultimately we're going to need to make, I need to make cheese and I need to make sandwiches. We were taking the bread, or we're still taking the bread over to our storage, and we got 225 saved up. We're going to use that kind of towards the end here when we try and bump up this happiness to level 40 so we can meet the condition of the map. But for right now, yeah, I guess I'll just have it keep getting stored. Eventually, I'm going to stop storing that because we're going to need it for these sandwiches. So I got the cooked chicken. Next thing we need is the cheese. It looks like that's going to take milk, which means another pasture, and cloth, which we're already producing. But we're selling all of our cloth. If we look up here in the top left, we don't have any cloth, so we're probably going to need to stop selling that and bring some over to the kitchen. So we need a worker. So let's see. Do we want to do the milk first? Let's build a pasture for the milk so we can see if we can get this cheese going. So we need another pasture. I'm going to go to the build menu. I think this is under farming. Could be wrong. Yeah, it's just under building. So we'll go pasture, and I need another one of these guys. This one is going to produce milk. It doesn't seem to help to have it near the water, as we saw. It looks like I can't afford this either. I need, let's see, 30 stone. I got 23. 30 stone and 20 planks. Plenty of planks. I don't have enough stone. I've only got 23 stone. Let's see what's happening with the stone. Oops, apologize for the fast scrolling there. So we're producing bricks. It looks like we're still selling bricks because I don't see any. That's getting us more red coins. But I need some stone to make its way to this barn. So I'm going to take one of these workers and I'm going to reassign him over here to take this stone and just bring it straight into storage. Because I need that stone in order to build the second pasture. A quick look at our school. Forestry is almost done. Got about 15 more. Plenty of animal feed getting into the pasture, making chicken. The kitchen has a full inventory of cooked chicken. I think I'm just going to save that chicken, that's output inventory, until we start making the sandwiches. Just because I don't have a lot of workers. On a larger map where they let us upgrade the base and have more houses, you could spin up some more workers and have them sell some of that chicken while we're waiting. But I just don't have a lot of extra workers right now. I do know that I need to save up some cotton. So let's see where cloth. Let's see where the cloth, who's selling cloth. That's paper going to the school, which is fine. This guy, what is he getting? He's delivering planks. So if I go to the workshop and I look at cloth, this will show me. Let's see here. What's going on? These guys, there's a ton of cloth. Is this guy? Okay, I've got a worker here who's set up. Looks like when I click on this worker, see how it shows a wheel? This was the worker that was delivering wagon wheels. We've got 67 left. I'm not building anymore. I'm going to take this worker, free him up. And right now, I don't see anybody delivering cloth. All right, so our forester got unlocked. We've got the forester and we got the tree planter. Still producing paper. Let's go ahead and go back to school and let's research those fluid pipes. We'll just kind of do this in the background. It's not really a victory condition, but it may free up a worker or two for us to have these. So I'm going to get that research going. And right now I'm looking at I need cloth for that cheese. And I'm waiting on bricks. I'm waiting on stone so I can build that last pasture. Let's find out what has happened to our cloth. Here's the workshop. Got cloth. Trying to see if I can find who is supposed to be delivering cloth. And I don't see anybody. All these little workers lined up. Let's see if I can tell who's doing what. Click on. Wait, it's hard to click on these guys. Let's see. This little guy is waiting on planks. Drop off planks to workshop. Escape. And most of these guys are cotton. Let's just see. Here is my cloth guy. Why is he there? He's not moving. He is not moving. So let's take him. Let's say cloth. Oh. That's the guy that's selling cloth to the general store, I think. I'm going to have him collect cloth and bring it to storage. This guy is my guy selling stone bricks. I'm actually going to bring him over here too. So I want to save up some stone bricks. And our happiness is going to go down, but that's all right for now. There is our guy storing cloth. So we're starting to store cloth. What I actually need, I'm going to have... Let's have this wagon take cloth out of storage and bring it to the kitchen. All right. And I think I can build my pasture now. So let's build a pasture and see if we can't get the milk going. Go here, buildings, pasture. And we're going to need water. So that's probably fine. This guy's going to need animal feed too, and we're not going to be able to use the little belt here. Maybe we can get creative. All right, maybe we can get creative here. So I'm going to drop my pasture here. This is for the milk. I need a worker. So I'm going to delete this guy to free up a worker. Oop. And now I need to pick a recipe. We're going to choose milk. I freed up the worker, so let me just add him in here. Boom. Milk takes animal feed as well. So what I'm going to do, see how this animal feed is kind of backed up? I don't have any extra workers right now. I mean, I can delete some, and I'm going to have to. But what I'm going to try and do is just like we have a number of... Actually, let me show you this one. The way these chutes are set up with this stone, it's set up such that the stone's going to go to the stonemason. But if it backs up, it's actually going to divert and come into the barn. So I want to do the same thing here with this animal feed because I want some animal feed to make it to the pasture, and this is currently backed up. So let's see on this hilly terrain if I can pull this off. But basically, we want to get a chute that's going to head down to this pasture. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to grab the chutes, and I'm going to hover over the one on top of one of the existing ones. And I'm going to hit the R key, and that's going to, I'll do it over here so you can see, but it's going to cycle through all these different configurations for the chute. And so I want to come off the top like this and kind of branch down. So I'm just going to drop that right on top of this existing chute. Boom. And then I'm going to give myself a straight chute here. Boom. And now you can see I'm getting the excess to come this way. And now I think what I'm going to do, just so I have this lined up right, I'm going to work from the pasture up the hill here. Looks like this is going pretty good. And then we'll put, whoops, I just had it. Put a little curved guy there, and we'll put a guy there. Boom. Now I've got my animal feed getting down to my other pasture. Let's see if it's taking it. It's taking it. It's not taking it. Now I got to debug. Why is this guy not taking it? And this is kind of useful to learn. If we look up close, this pasture looks like it's nice and flat on the ground, and this one's kind of propped up. And you can see underneath, if you look close, there's some scaffolding underneath this pasture that was automatically placed to make it level. So now I'm sending this feed down, but it's actually kind of going down into the basement or going underneath the pasture. And I need it to meet up straight up with the bottom of the fence here. So instead of a chute that's angled down, I need one that kind of goes straight. And in order to do that, I'm probably going to need to put some scaffolding down. So when these buildings are close, it's kind of hard to select things. So I'm going to grab a chute. Or actually, let's see if I can just, let's see. We want to delete this chute here. There's several ways to do it. I just want to see tools, remove resource, pick up item, select blocks, destroy block. Let's just try this. I can use destroy block, click on that, and there the chute goes away. And there's other ways to do that as well. But let's put a scaffold block down here. Boom. Now it looks like we might be level with the pasture. So let's try the chute. Chute. And let me rotate that so we have it in the right. And then boom. Okay, now it's taking it. Okay, so it looks like it will go straight. And then if the path straight is backed up, which it currently is, it will then send that product over to the side. So now this pasture has all of the animal feed it needs. It's going to produce milk, and it's waiting on water. I have a worker here delivering water to this one. Unfortunately, I can't have him deliver to two places. I really wish you could. Let me just try for the heck of it. I'm pretty sure it won't. Let me just, I'm going to hit shift, right click water, deliver it here, deliver it here. No. So he's only going to deliver water to one place. So right now I need to free up a worker to deliver water to this pasture so we can get some milk going. Let's see who I can scavenge off here. Let's see, the lumber mill is making planks and paper. I got 2 workers in there. Who can I scavenge off? Stone, I don't want to keep that guy there. All right, let's take one of our woodcutters. I'm just going to delete him so he drops his inventory. Spawn him over here. And he is going to collect water and bring it to this pasture. And there we go. And we should see that start filling up and we're producing milk. And guess what? I need to free up another worker. I'm going to take one of these cotton guys and say, you go get the milk and bring it to the kitchen. Now, in a normal game or a kind of a free play game or a more sandbox mode, you'll be able to upgrade your base and build more houses. We're using the chutes. That's freeing up a couple workers. Once we get the research for the pipes, I can build wells here and just use a pipe to go straight and supply water to both of these buildings, and that would free up both of these workers that are currently delivering the water by hand. Same thing here. I could put a pipe here and free up this worker. So there's multiple ways to do that, to free up workers. Once we get those cloth conveyor belts, instead of having these wagons deliver from building to building, I could set up conveyor belts just to deliver things. And that also frees up a worker because each one of those wagons takes up one of my available workers. All right, so let's see what we're doing here. We've got milk should be coming into the kitchen. It's just going to sit there because I haven't picked a recipe. So let's go into picking the cheese. Boom. And so now this guy will take milk, and you can see it's already got some in his input inventory. It looks like we're already delivering cloth. So we should see some cheese. There's our fluid pipe just got done. Boom. Okay, and now if we look at the school, I think they've got everything locked down. So all completed research. That's all done. There's no need to deliver paper. I've got 2 wagons right now taking paper to the school, and the school is done. For this map, we're done with the school. So for this wagon that's taking paper, there's a couple things I can do. One, I'm going to delete one of these guys. Boom. And actually the paper he was carrying automatically gets deposited into my base. So whenever you delete a worker or a wagon or any kind of guy transporting resources, when you delete them, if they were carrying something, it'll get just deposited in your base. So here we can see there's a animal feed, and and that's probably when I deleted the chute. And then this grain is probably when I deleted one of my grain workers to put them in the farm. You'll never lose resources when you delete stuff. I think even if you delete the buildings, you probably get the resources back. We also have a well down here I forgot about. I could have just repurposed that instead of building one. Anyway, back to it. I just deleted that wagon, so I have another worker. And I've got a wagon here that's delivering paper to the school. We said we're done with the school. So eventually we need to get this happiness back up. So I'm going to have this wagon deliver paper to, I believe it's the general store, and that we can start working on getting our happiness back up. So let's do that. Boom. And I'm going to click on the general store happiness. And oh, it doesn't take paper. Okay, so it looks like paper. I know the food market doesn't sell paper. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. And the general store does not sell paper. So I've got no use for paper at all. So I'm going to take this wagon and I'm going to delete them. Boom. Normally, again, if this map wasn't locked down, you'd have an almost endless tree of research to do. And so you can always use paper and be sending it to the school. And then later you can build books that are even more efficient and in the research that takes place at the school. But right now the school's locked down. I've got no use for paper. So I deleted it. And in my lumber mill, I can actually shut off paper. So I'll click on the lumber mill. I'll click on select recipe, and I'm just going to turn paper off. Let's see, fluid pipes. Should we do it? Let's build some fluid pipes. Got paper turned off, and he's still doing planks, which is fine. And we've got tons of planks in storage. Eventually, we're going to send those off to the market to get our happiness up. Our happiness is super low. Not sure why, but it's really low. We're not supplying much. Because we don't have any workers here in the grain. But let's just focus on getting these sandwiches made. Let's see where we're at. Okay, we've got cheese being produced. I got cheese in inventory, and I've got chicken in inventory. I don't have bread in inventory. So whoever's delivering bread, that's this guy. I'm going to have him stop delivering bread. And so we should, as this flour gets delivered to the kitchen, the bread that the kitchen produces will now be saved up in its output inventory. And we're going to use that to do the last recipe here, which is the sandwich. Boom. And so let's see if we can see a bread. Right now we don't have any flour coming This guy is also delivering flour. I'm going to have him stop. So right now, we're going to not produce any more yellow coins for the time being. And we've got the grain mill producing flour and feed. And we're just not producing a lot of grain out of that farm. Keep everybody happy. But here comes some flour into the kitchen. So we should see. Here we go. Oh, there's a sandwich. All right, so look at that. We got our first sandwich. Let's take a quick look at the victory conditions. All right, we're just see where we're at. We completed the research for the forester. We'll go build that here next and just satisfy that condition. We're starting to build our sandwiches, so we need 50 of those. We can sell those off as we build them. I don't think we need to save up 50 of them. So we'll send some sandwiches to the market. And we still got a couple more things we got to build. We got the warm coat, which takes the wool, leather, and shirts. And wool is going to require another pasture. And the shirts, I think, are made at the workshop. So we'll take a look at that. And then conveyor belts are also built at the workshop with cloth and wood wheels. So we're going to have to spin up the wood wheel production again. I only need 50 of those conveyor belts. So let's see. So we're doing our sandwiches. Let's go ahead and build that forester building if we can and get that out of the way. Let's do it over here. I'm going to go into buildings. Scroll down. Here's forester. Took 20 stone and 20 planks. It looks like you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. It's showing here what that's going to cost. Basically, this works kind of like a farm, except it's for trees. We don't really need trees, so we can just drop this down out of the way. It is going to consume a worker probably. So let's just drop him right here. All right. You can pick what kind of trees you want, or you can have him actually make fruit trees, and then we can harvest that fruit and sell that at the market as well. Maybe that makes sense to do. So we already consumed a worker. And so let's have him do apple. And what's going to happen is he's not going to be able to do anything right now because we need to drop those little tree planter items. So if I go to the build menu, and I think this one's in farming, we see tree planters. It takes 4 fertilizer and 4 planks and 20 yellow coins. So we're making fertilizer, but we're not putting it in our general storage, so it's not available to us. So let's just, for the sake of the tutorial and to see this work, we've got an extra worker here. Let's drop a worker down. It's going to be a little slow, but I'm going to have him pick up fertilizer from this pasture. Fertilizer. And I'm going to have him take it to our base. All right. And it could be the base or it could be a barn. Basically, it just needs to be in your general storage. And then I can, once something's in general storage, then I can access that just by using the build menu here. So if I need to build tree planters, as soon as it sees that I have enough fertilizer in storage, then it'll let me build these tree planters. So we'll let that guy store some fertilizer for us. It'll take a little while, but and then I can show you how those tree planters work, and maybe we can plant a couple pear trees or something and see if we can get some fruit out of that. Let's see where we're at. We're making our sandwiches. Everything's good there. The only thing is that's going to back, as soon as we get to 10, that's going to back up. So we need to get rid of those sandwiches. I got 2 wagons sitting here. I'm just going to use one to take the sandwiches to the food market. Boom. Guess what? The food market doesn't sell sandwiches. Oh, no. All right. So the food market doesn't sell sandwiches. Who does? Let's look at the building menu. And I believe it's the tavern. Is it the tavern? It must be the tavern. Usually, if you can find the inventory item and you hover over it, it'll tell you where it's sold. So if you look at the bottom right here for sandwich, and we look all the way at the bottom, it's telling us that it's sellable at the tavern, and we'll get 30 coins for it. So there's a couple things I can do. I can just put these sandwiches in storage and never sell them, not worry about it, and just get the tutorial done. Or we can drop a tavern down and actually sell the sandwiches. So that makes a little more sense. So let's take this wagon that's got sandwiches. I'm going to move him back here. We're going to drop the tavern. It's a lot like the food market and the general store in that it needs to be located near the houses. So let's go to buildings and see if we have enough resources to actually build it. There's tavern. It looks like it takes 20 stone bricks, which we got 79, and 20 planks. So we got 1,000,000 of those. See the area of effect. We've got 3 houses way over there on the right. So I want to stay within range of those. So it looks like we're good. Looks like we got everybody in range. These houses down the bottom of the hill aren't really highlighted. I wonder why that is. They may need a path. I may need to actually put a road down to be able to get to these houses. So let's just see. So let's drop the tavern. We got enough to build it. Let's take our wagon full of sandwiches here and we'll collect more sandwiches and drop them off at the tavern. And the tavern doesn't take any people, so that's fine. And if we click on the tavern, we can see that those 6 houses kind of towards the top of the screen are not covered by the tavern or the food market or the general store. I think the reason that is because of the terrain. So let's see if we can fix that. Just like we had to kind of add some scaffolding and stuff down here. Let's see if building a path, we'll just start with a footpath. If that, I'm just clicking on each of these tiles to see if having a footpath next to these houses is going to allow them to be seen by the stores. Okay, so that, interestingly enough, now if I click on the tavern, I've got 4 of the houses now are accessible that weren't before, and 2 still are not. So let's drill in here and just see what we need to do. See, this guy's kind of on scaffolding, and so is this one, both the houses that are not covered. So I wonder if I need to get a path to those houses. Let's see. This one, I think if I put a ramp up this way, maybe a couple scaffolds here, boom, that are level. Now if I run that footpath over these scaffolding to the house, and I put a footpath on top of that, let's just see if that helped it. This house is now accessible. He's highlighted, and I've got one left that isn't. And the reason this is important is if we want to maximize that happiness later, we need to make sure that the products that we're sending to the tavern, the food market, and the general store, that they're able to be delivered to all of our houses to maximize the happiness. So we want to make sure that when we click on a tavern or we click on the food market, that all of the houses are highlighted. The other way to look is to see on the right here, the menu, to see where it says linked to, that all of your houses are actually linked to the building. So right now it says 15. If I look at the top left, we've got 16 houses, and here's the one that's not connected. So let's see if we can make this sidewalk, make this work. I think it's a little narrow here. Bear with me. But I think if I can level the road out in front of this house, putting, let's see, put scaffolding there. Put scaffolding there. Then I just cover this in a footpath. Now they can come this way and get to the house. So let's see if that solves our problem. I'll click here. And now I made things worse. Look at this. Now there's only 11 houses that are linked. I I think I can solve this. I think I can solve this. Let's put a ramp down here. So now that you've been able to get to this house, let's put a ramp down and a path on top of that. And a path on top of that. And so now they can deliver the product here to the house or come down the ramp and get these other houses, hopefully. Let's just see if that solved it. Boom. All right, 16. Solved. All right. Bit of a distraction. We got that taken care of. So you can level the ground with these scaffolds. Down the road, you're able to, I think it's with tools. Let's see, remove block, items, remove resources. There is a way to kind of terraform the land and either raise it or lower it, but it does cost coins to do it. But for now, that scaffolding works.
All right, we're at a good stopping point here for this episode. Glidercat signing off for now, saying thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.